Hi everyone, let's discuss on this video when is the best time to trim your Hoya wine. You can see the white dot on my CV Jennifer. This is where I took off the excess parts of the wine just near the pinnacle to trigger new growth on that top part, which is very bare. The sap will dry off and it will go away after a while, but the sap will come in place to heal the cut. Now you're seeing the bare part that I took off. I did that because it wasn't serving any purpose, and that part I took as the best place to take off just to trigger new growth. Same thing I did from the bottom also, which was a month ago, which prompted this new leaf. And now there are two more leaves. One is that and the other one is that, which is very misshapen, because actually the back of that leaf has got stuck to the actually the back of the the same leaf because of some trellis issue or something that it was knocking onto while it was growing. So however, now even though I took off whatever that is stagnant, I cannot always expect leafing out from the top itself. Now you are seeing what happened to that new leaf. I'll probably take this off. Okay, I actually took it off, so it's no more on the leaf. Aesthetically, I do not like how it looks. So now let's discuss when should you do this. First point being, you should not trim your vine quite often. You have to let it do its own thing, like a new leaf, like that. Right? If it's on an active growth mode, which is throwing off new leaves, a bunch of new leaves, don't take it off from anywhere. But here it's only 1 or 2 leaves, so I will be taking off from here too, because I just saw it and I got my IKEA jackfruit just to induce growth, because as I've told you earlier, it has been over a month since my last trimming. Normally a vine would stop growing when it's about to bloom. Sometimes in rare occasions it will grow and bloom at the same time. Here also I'm showing you a part of the dried off vine which I took off, which prompted a new vine. So when it's in active growth mode, you should never take off any vines, because then it will disturb that growth and again the plant will be confused. Same goes when it's about to bloom. If the vine is doing the growing and the blooming all at once, that's because it's extremely healthy. That's what happened in my Hoya sunrise. Right? I've always seen it blooming. It was always in active growth mode because I could see a lot of vines sun stress, right? Like here. But again, the third point, if your plant is too much stressed in the sun, that is, if there is too much sun stress on the vine, you should not trim it either. Because stressing, the word itself, the vine is in a not so familiar or comfortable stage, right? We stress our Hoyas just to get that shading which will look very nice to us. But here normally keeping those points aside, that is not to trim when your vine is too much sun stressed or on active growth mode or on active pinnacle. Another factor is the fourth one would be if you have root mealy or some sort of root rot or fungal issue going on in the media, right? At the same time, you can see if the same thing had happened to my Hoya pentaphlebia, which it did. For no reason, the roots were fine, everything was good. I just wanted to repot this to give it a new trellis from the wonky trellis it had. This went through a severe dehydration. Now I have added more media on top and more pebbles on top to further secure it, because I found a snail in the media which have been munching my roots. That's why the vine went into a dehydration. Here, it's better to check the surface of your vine also to see if there are any snails in the media too. If there is one snail, it's most likely that there can be eggs in the media. So here, wherever I have trimmed, I have trellised too, just to give it a secure place to grow. So I will be lifting leaves and seeing if there are snails underneath them, which is hiding in plain sight, just to be on the safe side. So the plant will have an easier time growing after you trim it. When you trim it, you can give it a high nitrogen fertilizer or a high phosphorus fertilizer. Or you can give the N and P both high one fertilizer you can find in the market and spray it on them. That will have less potassium and more nitrogen and phosphorus, right? When you are requiring an active growth mode in your vine, that's something that you have to focus on if you want a monster like this, right? Also, when it's leaves you're looking for, trellising helps, right? That is a dainty vine, but this is a very tough vine. The stem of this vine is very, very thick and strong. So therefore, trellising really helps if you are looking for nicer leaves on your CV Jennifer, because of this shape and everything. You know, this can speckle very nicely and sun stress very nicely, at the same time grow in a very nice round shape, as well as bloom a nice color of Hoya flower. So here I am giving you all the tools that you need to consider before you think of trimming, right? If I summarize, don't trim it when it's on active growth mode, or if a panicle is reactivated, or if the plant is too sun stressed. Finally, if there are problems at the bottom of your vine, which is in the media. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye. And don't do it often.